Yes, I had an encounter in Germany. When I was in Germany, I was going to the bar. It's called Cheers. When I opened the door, it's the same scenery. Nothing but smoke came out and a bunch of drunk GIs. And I said to myself, well, I was always a casual drinker and I limit how much I would drink. I said, you know what? To myself, I thought to myself, I'm just going back to the billets, saving money, buy me a calzone pizza, and watch a movie. So the door closed. When the door closed, I looked behind me. There was a man standing behind me. He uh he had an umbrella, a brown coat, and a hat. Uh, the I can't remember the name of the hats, but hat, kind of like Humphrey Bogart will wear something like that. He had one of those hats on.
Hmm.
He's looking at me and he's talking in a different. He's talking to me in English, but with a accent because from a different, I guess I don't know what kind of nationality he is, but it's in Germany. I'm in a foreign country. I don't know nobody there. He looks at me, and the first thing he says, I know who your grandmother and grandfather are." That's what he tells me. And said, I looked at him and I said, "Who are they? If you know who they are." He said their names. He said their full name, middle name, and last name. It is a older man, and he's just looking at me after he says them, which he said them right to the T. Then he said that he knew my mother, my father, and all my brothers and sisters. He named every one of them. And he's looking at me. But by then I was like to myself with my spirit, it told me just to walk away because whatever that was, I don't know what I was dealing with. I just didn't know that if what it was. So I walked away. I didn't fear it and just left the man standing on the sidewalk. But he knew everything about my family. So the only thing that came to my mind was something demonic. Maybe I don't think it was an angel because that's not when my senses were getting triggered big time. Hairs were standing up and everything. Um, and then there was another possibility that crossed my mind since I was in a foreign country, which would be a name that probably hardly anybody speaks, or maybe he might exist because it's more like of a like a new like it could read my mind in a sense of a way. The only other thing I could think it was if it wasn't a demon would be a Nosferatu, like a vampire, because he knew everything. He knew the names of my grandmother and grandfather. Like he knew my. But I lean more forward to demonic because it's kind of like he knew my bloodline.